ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Daytona 500 qualifying here for the Season 6 Budweiser All-Pro Series. We have 15 minutes of qualifying, group qualifying here at the Daytona International Speedway. Who is going to win the pole for the 6th annual Daytona 500? As you can see, it looks like the first crowd on the track will be the 11, actually, of Cody Lamas. Oops, why did I hit the 16? Or the 13, excuse me. 11. There we go. The 11 and the 16 are the first two out on the racetrack. Here comes the Sprint Unlimited winner, Jessica Villanueva, and it looks like Jessica Shelton's going to pull out right in front, so the two Jessicas are going to work together. 61 of McCurry coming out. This is going to be a very interesting Daytona 500 qualifying as we're waiting for the cars to cycle around here. We're gonna go to our first camera as soon as we see. There's Cody Lamas. So here we go. Cody Lamas here in the 11 car begins to pull away slightly from the guy behind him. We're going to talk here about Cody Lamas. Cody Lamas, he had a pretty good season. He went from the 48 car to the 41 to now the 11, driving for Joe Gibbs. He's the newest addition to the Joe Gibbs racing team. Here's the 16 of rookie Jeffrey Finguy making his debut here in the Budweiser All-Pro Series. He's looking to quickly make a name for himself here today. Let's go for the next guy, or next person already out on the racetrack. Here it is right here is Jessica Shelton. Jessica Shelton, she was very, very close. Oh yeah, she was very, very close to winning the Sprint Unlimited last night, but unfortunately couldn't get in line, couldn't get in enough of a good line to get up to the front here. Right behind her, here is the Sprint Unlimited winner, Jessica Villanueva, in the 78. Starting off the season with a bang as she had won the Sprint Unlimited. So I believe she might have brought that same 78 car back here for Daytona 500 qualifying. Here is Dylan Poteet returning to the 31 for Tweenix Racing. Yes, can I help you? Why are you? Bit of a brief pause there. Sorry about that. Dylan Poteet back in the 31 car this season, hoping to get his season back on track. Right behind him is Ryan Rezzo in the 55, making his debut in the 55 from Michael Waltrip Racing. He transferred into the Sprint Unlimited via the Sprint Unlimited Last Chance qualifier. So that 55 team got a pretty good run as we cross the line here. We're going to go up here. Here's Anthony McCurry returning to the 61 Audi. He's still the lone Audi this season. Levi McIntyre making his debut in the Budweiser All-Pro Series. He's in the 42 car, currently sitting 16th on the board. Stephen Pollard, the third in the 13 car. He is he's a former champion of the Budweiser All-Pro Series, and he is currently, well, he was sitting first on the board. John Cittadino now back in the 5th position here in qualifying. We'll see as they cross the line here. These guys are all single file. Ooh. Pretty good. And just like that, here's Annabelle Bolivan driving the 88 this season. New addition to Hendrick Motorsports, driving the Baja Blast number 88 Chevrolet. Being at the back of that pack meant that being at the back of that pack meant she got the best draft, so she jumps to the top of the board. Here is John Racer in the number 5 car, currently sitting 41st on the list. They're not quite in a pack yet. Here's Dylan Young returning to the number 2 car this season. He's looking to get his race back out on track. Here is Steve Pollard in the 9 car, former Daytona 500 winner back in season 4. Yeah, season 4. Trent Dunham looking to break the Daytona curse by winning the Daytona 500. Even though he won in the Snickers Cup Series, he still has a Daytona curse in my series. Here's James Silverfox, one of the final 4 of last season's chase. He's 40th, now 41st, looks like he's just kind of running up by himself, trying to get used to his race car. Now here's another pack. Here's John Arndt in the 95 car, currently sitting 30th. We've still got a lot of time left here in qualifying, so right now, John Arndt sitting 30th. We have a big pack behind him here, as we see. Here's rookie Adrian White driving the 34 for the lone car of the Front Row Motorsports this season. Here, and then our defending champion Seth Cole sitting 39th right now at the current moment, as the 34 car is going to come down into pit lane. Now we have a huge pack right here of race cars, and we're going to begin with the 48 of Jake Haynes. All these cars racing right here. Yep, 48 of Jake Haynes makes the move over from the 43 to the 48 this season. Another new addition to Joe Gibbs. O'Neal Baldwin, the defending Daytona 500 champion, has 3 teammates up here in this pack. Probably going to draft together and be actually pretty good. Having like that here too. Nathan Hudson in the number 6, driving the Valvoline Mark Martin throwback Mercedes this season. He looks like he's sitting 15th, so we'll see what happens. Here's Dougie Shears, a new addition to. Dougie Shears, a new addition to Joe Gibbs this year, driving that number 19 to replace Annabelle Baldwin, who moved over to the 88 car. Cody Lamas. Here's Nick Altendorf, Season 4 Budweiser All-Pro Series champion. As you see, they're 3 wide up ahead. Nick Altendorf probably just trying to work to see how his car will feel in the draft. Here's Anthony DiCaprio. I hope it's Anthony. God, if I mistake your name, you guys cannot blame me. This is still the beginning of the season. I will get it. Don't worry about that. I will freaking get your name by the end of this damn season. The 47 car was actually top of the board, but he is now back in the 2nd position. As it looks like Nick Altendorf coming to pit lane. Here's Keith Rich, rookie, making his debut in the Budweiser All-Pro Series, driving the 17 for Roush Racing. Levi McIntyre. Here is JT Bryant just pulling out of his pit stall. He is currently 39th. He has I think he's out there running by himself. He's driving the number 22 Ford for Penske Racing. A very goosebumps, I should say, new look to that 22 car. And here's the car. Here's Chuck Petty. Chuck Petty in the 21 Advocare Ford Fusion out of Wood Brothers Racing. Out of the Wood Brothers, they is currently top of the board. We got Sean Henley and Charles Jackson up here working together, even though they're not technically teammates. Charles Jackson returning, he's currently 5th on the board. Sean Henley currently 8th on the board. Here's a new teammate to Nathan Hudson. This is Daniel Voiles driving the number 26 Yu-Gi-Oh sponsored Mercedes, the car that Daniel himself nicknamed Dark Magician Girl. Here's another new team here in the Budweiser All-Pro Series. Just for the sake of argument, I'm just going to call it Retro Racing Enterprises, with Charles Sanford here, and then here's Jessica Shelton, who's third and 4th currently on the board for these two. Then back here in the 24 car, here's Joseph Srigley moving from the 38 last season over to the 24, new addition to the Hendrick Motorsports. And then back here, more pack racing, Ryan Rezzo, Annabelle Baldwin, Poti, Villanueva. Here's Darren Drake, rookie, who's taken over Richard Petty's famous number 43 for this season. He is definitely looking to turn some luck around in that 43 car, put it back in the chase like it was last season. See, is there anybody else we haven't talked about here yet? That might have been everybody, actually. It's group pack racing here. Yeah, believe we've talked about everybody here. The 2 FedEx guys right here. Three out of the 5 Joe Gibbs drivers. Oh no, here's someone we haven't talked about yet. Here's rookie Daniel Gilbert driving the 20 car this season, replacing Ben Neuwirth, who did not make the cut, or who did not make signups this season. So rookie Daniel Gilbert looking to bring that number 20 car some good luck this season. Then you got the number 4 of Michael White, rookie Michael White, making his debut for Stewart Haas Racing, driving the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet. Here's Alex May returning back to the 51 this season. And the only Dodge in the field, the lonely Dodge of Johnny Gardner. The lonely Dodge of Johnny Gardner here, currently sitting 22nd on the board with about 4 minutes remaining in practice. Or excuse me, not practice, qualifying here for the Daytona 500. And I believe everybody else we talked about, here's Andrew Rich in the 27 car, and Annie Thomas returning back to the 15. Other than that, that's practically everybody we've talked about. We're going to go find our current pole sitter, which is the 21, which is right here. Chuck Petty, who's the current pole sitter so far in the Daytona 500. I don't believe we've had a rookie pole sitter in quite a while here for the Daytona 500. Kyle Matthews over there in the 14 car. He's returned back to the 14. Here's the 41 car. I don't know if we talked about him. Benjamin Miles. And the 41 car taking over for Cody Lamas, who switched over to the 11 car this season. As we're gonna watch these cars come through the tri-oval here. Nobody so far has gotten involved in a wreck, so it looks like these drivers are qualifying pretty good. These cars heading down the back straightaway. This is the biggest pack of cars here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars in this pack right here. You got 11 cars in this pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars in this pack. 2 car tandem between the 22 of JT Bryant and the 34 of Adrian White. Currently 41st and 42nd. You got 5 cars in this pack. Just a bunch of cars all the way around. So this is the biggest pack of cars right here with about 2.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. This is the best chance for these drivers to test how fast their cars can be and if they can make a move, and if so, what's going to happen, as Chuck Petty looks like he could still be a lock on the pole this weekend. It looks like it'll probably be an all-rookie front row if it continues the way it's looking right now. Now this 4-car pack is beginning to break away from the rest of them back there. Fastest lap for Chuck Petty, as you see, is a 43.749, and I don't know what the average speed of that is. Probably roughly around 200 plus miles an hour. As you can see, going down the back straightaway, they're just hitting 200 miles per hour. They're actually beginning to get single file, and they are single file back here, which look at how fast Sean Henley's pulling that train, and this could be the start of a whole new pole sitter possibly. As these cars come through the line, it looks like nope, nothing's going to change this lap, as they're roughly a second. We got 1 minute, and a minute 10 seconds remaining here in qualifying, as now the cars begin to get double file up ahead. Chuck Petty gonna pull out to the inside, going down the back straightaway. Not really gonna get a good enough run for that 21 car, but Sean Henley's gonna get left out to dry. As it looks like these cars will have one more attempt to get a good lap. Oh, I saw somebody change. Oh yes, the 20. Oh no, we have a new pole sitter in the last minute. In the last minute, hit the whole top 5, or excuse me, the top 2 changed. Kyle Matthews and Charles Sanford took over the top 2, the front row, in that last lap. Unbelievably, they took it over. Now, with the red and black flags about to be displayed, let's see what happens this time by. Red and black flags are displayed. Qualifying is over. We'll see what happens as they cross the line this time. nothing changes, and Kyle Matthews with the 43.669 has taken the pole for the 6th annual Daytona 500. Now, granted, yes, there's still a lot of time for allowing cars to finish up their laps, but it doesn't matter because qualifying will indeed be over right now, especially with these cars being all side by side. Yep. Qualifying is over. Qualifying is over, and Kyle Matthews and Charles Sanford are your front row. Okay, take that. Make sure none of these are blurry. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. So qualifying for the Daytona 500 is complete. Up next is the Gatorade Dual Races, to which then we will the Gatorade Dual Races, to which then we will determine the full starting lineup for the official Daytona 500 starting lineup. Qualifying is over. They pretty much just qualified for the Gatorade Dual Races, except for the front two. So once again, congratulations to Kyle Matthews and Charles Sanford, who at the very last possible minute dethroned Chuck Petty and Daniel Voiles. I would be assuming, possibly, maybe not. It was Daniel Voiles and the 47 car, or it was Chuck Petty and the 47 of Anthony DiCaprio. They dethroned them. So Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford will start first in their respective Gatorade Dual Races. So for Michael Norman and the entire Budweiser All-Pro Series here at Daytona, we say thank you for joining us here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, and we will see you guys for the Budweiser Duels. So, let's say, until we meet again.